Monica Thompson had always been the kind of person who believed that hard work and honesty would protect her. She was 29, worked as a junior manager at a financial firm in Chicago, and had built a reputation as someone reliable, focused, and ethical. That morning started like any other, with the city buzzing outside her apartment window and her thoughts already on a client meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. She kissed her brother Marcus goodbye, promising to call him later, never imagining that by the end of the day, her life would be completely turned upside down. It all began when the alarm at her office went off, not for her, but for the company's accounting department. A large sum of money had gone missing, and Monica was the first person named as responsible. It was almost surreal. She was handcuffed, questioned, and thrown into a world where every instinct and fact she had could be questioned, doubted, and twisted against her. And right here, dear viewers, I want to ask you, who are you? And where are you watching from? Which city or town has you watching this story unfold right now? Take a moment, and while you do, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, because stories like this remind us that the truth is never as simple as it seems. Monica knew she hadn't taken anything, but the evidence was stacked against her. The video footage the company presented seemed damning. Security cameras showed someone leaving the accounting office at the same time she was supposedly there, and emails were sent from her account authorizing transfers that she never touched. Every detail was manipulated. Her colleague Ethan Reynolds, a man everyone trusted, had orchestrated the setup. Ethan had access, motive, and a willingness to betray, and he had made sure the company's digital trail pointed directly to Monica. Meanwhile, the detective assigned to her case, Larva Kim, had a reputation for being professional but unyielding, and she showed little patience for Monica's explanations. Each meeting with her felt like an interrogation designed to break her down rather than uncover the truth. Monica's friends and family were shocked. Marcus, her older brother, couldn't believe what was happening. He knew Monica's integrity, her dedication, and her honesty, and the thought that she could be accused of stealing money seemed impossible. But the system they were facing was complex, slow, and often biased. Race, background, and perception all played against Monica in subtle but powerful ways. The courtroom seemed like an arena where assumptions often mattered more than facts, and Monica could feel the walls closing in. As days turned into weeks, she watched her reputation erode. Colleagues whispered, clients questioned her reliability, and every interaction became a challenge. She felt the weight of a society quick to judge, slow to listen, and often blind to nuance. She tried to keep her routine, to continue working, to prove herself through professionalism, but every step forward seemed to be met with suspicion. And yet, she refused to give up. Monica began meticulously reviewing her schedule, retracing her steps, and speaking to witnesses who could confirm her whereabouts. Marcus, her brother, began helping her in secret, using his contacts and knowledge of local networks to uncover what Ethan had done. It wasn't easy. Ethan had planned everything carefully, covering digital traces, planting false evidence, and ensuring no one would look too closely at his actions. But small inconsistencies started to appear, like threads sticking out of a carefully woven fabric. Emails were sent from unusual IP addresses, security footage had small gaps, and colleagues recalled seeing Ethan alone in places he claimed Monica had been. With every new clue, Monica felt a mix of hope and fear. Hope that justice could be served, fear of retaliation from someone as calculating as Ethan, and a lingering anxiety that the system might fail her anyway. Her interactions with Detective Kim remained tense. Monica's attempts to present evidence were often dismissed, her testimony scrutinized and doubted. She realized that not only did she need to prove Ethan's guilt, but she also had to fight a system predisposed to believe the worst of her. The emotional toll was immense. Sleepless nights, tense conversations, and constant stress wore her down. But Monica had learned to channel her frustration into determination. She knew that if she gave up, she would be letting the truth die, and more importantly, she would be allowing injustice to win. As the investigation continued, small victories began to emerge. Witnesses who were initially hesitant started speaking out. Records that seemed final were questioned. And in one of the most unexpected breakthroughs, Marcus discovered a hidden security camera from a nearby building that captured events from a different angle. The footage was grainy, but clear enough to show Monica attending her client meeting at the exact time Ethan had supposedly been with her at the office. The discovery sparked a glimmer of hope. For the first time, Monica felt that the tide might be turning. But it was only the beginning. Ethan, realizing that cracks were appearing in his carefully constructed facade, began taking more desperate measures, spreading rumors, intimidating witnesses, and trying to regain control of the narrative. Monica, aware of the risks, knew she had to act carefully. Every step needed to be calculated, and every piece of evidence had to be preserved. Trust was scarce, and betrayal was everywhere. The fight was no longer just about proving innocence. It had become a battle for survival, reputation, and dignity. This part of Monica's journey set the stage for an intense confrontation with not only Ethan, but with a system that often sided with convenience over truth. It became clear that justice would not be given freely. It would have to be fought for relentlessly. Every phone call, every document, every conversation had to be navigated with precision. And yet, Monica's spirit remained unbroken. She knew that the path ahead would be challenging, but she was ready to face it, armed with the truth and the determination to ensure that right would prevail. The discovery of the hidden security footage gave Monica Thompson a renewed sense of purpose. She now had proof that contradicted the official story, proof that could finally expose Ethan Reynolds and reveal the truth. But the path ahead was still dangerous, uncertain, and emotionally exhausting. Monica knew that presenting the evidence would not be simple. The company's management, many of whom trusted Ethan implicitly, might try to suppress it, and the court would be slow to accept anything that contradicted the established narrative. Marcus, her brother, was relentless. He spent hours coordinating with legal experts, finding ways to authenticate the video, and preparing Monica for the inevitable cross-examinations. Every step of this preparation reminded Monica that justice required courage, patience, and careful strategy. As the day of the hearing approached, tension built to a nearly unbearable level. Monica faced a courtroom where skepticism hung in the air, where assumptions about her character seemed to matter as much as facts, and where her every word was scrutinized. Judge Harrison, known for his strict adherence to protocol, was skeptical but fair. Detective Laura Kim, who had been distant and cautious throughout the investigation, now began to pay closer attention as the inconsistencies in Ethan's story became undeniable. Monica's heart raced as she presented her case. She detailed her schedule, her meetings, and her interactions, laying out a timeline that clearly demonstrated her innocence. Marcus presented the hidden camera footage, meticulously analyzed with expert testimony confirming its authenticity. The tension in the courtroom was palpable. Ethan's demeanor shifted from confident to nervous, a subtle but telling change. He had believed he had controlled every detail, but the emergence of undeniable evidence shattered his carefully constructed story. For Monica, the experience was both cathartic and terrifying. She confronted not just a single act of betrayal, but an entire system that had almost allowed a false narrative to define her life. As the proceedings continued, witnesses began to speak up. Colleagues who had been silent due to fear or uncertainty finally came forward, corroborating Monica's account and highlighting Ethan's manipulations. Each testimony strengthened her case, piece by piece. The court slowly began to see the truth. The video, combined with the corroborating evidence, painted a clear picture. Monica had been in the meeting. Ethan had orchestrated the theft, and the initial accusations were baseless. The emotional weight on Monica's shoulders started to lift. The courtroom, once a place of fear and doubt, became a space where truth could finally emerge. When the verdict was announced, Monica felt a mix of relief, exhaustion, and validation. She was officially cleared of all charges, her name restored, and her integrity affirmed. Ethan Reynolds was held accountable for fraud, conspiracy, and falsifying evidence. While the legal victory was significant, The journey had changed Monica. She had faced the harsh realities of systemic bias, manipulation, and the fragile nature of reputation. The ordeal had tested her courage, patience, and resilience in ways she could never have anticipated. Yet, despite the immense pressure, she had persevered, relying on her principles, the support of her brother, and her unwavering commitment to the truth. In the aftermath, Monica reflected on what this experience had taught her. Justice is not automatic, and the truth does not always emerge on its own. The system can fail, and those who seek to manipulate it often succeed in delaying or distorting outcomes. But perseverance, courage, and meticulous attention to detail can overcome even the most sophisticated attempts to suppress truth. Monica decided to use her experience to help others. She established a foundation aimed at supporting individuals wrongfully accused, particularly those facing bias due to race, socioeconomic status, or systemic prejudices. Her mission was clear: to make sure that others facing injustice had resources, guidance, and hope that she almost didn't have. The story of Monica Thompson is a powerful reminder that being falsely accused can be devastating, that the fight for justice is often uphill, and that resilience can turn adversity into meaningful action. It demonstrates how one person, when armed with determination and support, can challenge not only an individual act of wrongdoing but also confront systemic weaknesses and prejudice. Through it all, Monica emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined to ensure that truth and justice would prevail, not just for herself, but for everyone who might face similar challenges. Her journey serves as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration, showing that even in a world where appearances and assumptions can threaten lives, the truth remains a weapon against injustice. To everyone watching right now, wherever you are, remember Monica's story as more than a tale of betrayal or courtroom drama. It is a call to remain vigilant, to stand up against unfair treatment, and to support those whose voices are ignored. And if this story moved you, inspired you, or made you reflect on the fragility and power of justice, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on this video. By doing so, you help share these stories, support truth and awareness, and remind the world that justice, though often delayed, can be achieved when we refuse to give up.